So today's video we're going to be repairing this hole in the wall. So you can probably tell that is from a doorknob striking the door. We've already corrected the issue by replacing the door stopper at the bottom. Also putting an extra precaution of one of these door stops on the hinge. So there's no way that it's going to do this again, but we do have to fix the damage. So we're going to need a few simple things. You're gonna need a wall patch. You can go ahead and just use regular kind of like tape, drywall tape, but this one is actually steel reinforced for permanent repair, it says. And it's actually made exactly for this issue with a door handle going through the wall. It actually has steel inside it, so it's gonna reinforce. Obviously it's not gonna stop a swinging door from flying through the wall, but it's gonna give us some strength there where we need it. So we definitely need this patch. This thing's only like $2 or $3. So it's well worth it. It's not that expensive. You're gonna need some sandpaper. You're also gonna need some spackling. I have this stuff, it's the pink stuff, so you can kind of see where it goes. One of these plastic putty knives, and to finish it up, to bring it back, if your wall is a similar kind of texture like this, you're gonna need a can of this orange peel wall texture. And I've used this before, it's pretty cool. It dries, like I said, it dries pretty quick in 5 minutes, and you can adjust how much kind of texture you need based on whatever texture you already have. It has kind of an adjustment on the top, so kind of cool. Anyways, let's get right into it. We're gonna sand this perimeter area about the same size, maybe a little bit past of what the actual wall patch itself is, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so here we are. You can see that we have, well, hopefully you can see it. It just looks like a lot of white, but you can see that we've sanded an area around the door handle, or the hole in the wall from the door handle that is the size of this patch. This thing's it's basically a big sticker, so, but adhere to the wall as best as possible on this flat surface. So I'm gonna go ahead, peel this sticker off. We'll put it on, and then pretty much after that, we just put some putty on it. So let's get this going. Okay, so there's the first coat of spackling, so we'll let that dry and I'll put a second coat and then we can sand it. Okay, so it's the next day, you guys, and I just let this dry. You don't necessarily have to wait an entire day, but I ended up doing it in the evening. Wake up in the morning, everything's dry. So I just hit it with the sand block, and things are looking pretty good. So biggest thing you want to make sure is that you run your sand block so that it is smooth and level with the rest of the surface, because the last thing you want is to have a big mountain on your wall. So you run the sand block across. You might still see remnants of the actual fiberglass patch that's behind there, but as long as you can't feel that patch, like you can't feel this crisscross pattern, then if you run your hand across, you can't feel this little, tic-tac-toe cross patch pattern, then you'll be good to go. So I've sanded it, and honestly, it just took 2 seconds of the sand block to knock it. And we're good to go. So now I'm gonna move on to the texture portion of this repair. So here's that texture stuff. Like I said, you're gonna have to play with, see this little knob on the back here? Hopefully you can see that. You can adjust how coarse or how fine, or I guess they're calling it fine or heavy, you want the chunks to be, for lack of a better term, on the wall. So I've already got set up because I use it in a different portion of my house, so I've already dialed that in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and lay that on. One thing to remember with this, and because I've used this a few times before, is when it sprays out and you see this kind of chunk or pattern come out, it is gonna shrink. So whatever blob that you see come out from this thing, just know that it's gonna shrink a little bit. So if it comes out looking a little bit too large, know that the little, chunk or orange peel effect is gonna shrink. So just factor in for that when you do this. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna shake this up, spray it on the wall, and show you guys what we got. You kind of want to go outside of the area that you were working on, just so it all blends together. One thing to make sure is to, because I've used this can before, to flip your can upside down and spray it to clear the nozzle. Otherwise, that's pretty much the end of this can. It'll be garbage. So take something, spray it into it. I'm going to take this magazine, turn it upside down, and spray until you just see air coming out. And that's going to clear out this nozzle for you so that you can actually use this can once again. This stuff is pretty stinky though, so let it air dry and give it some ventilation, and we're pretty much done. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished final products, obviously unpainted, but this is how it looks once it's all dried, said and done. And I mean, besides the color difference, you guys can probably tell that you really can't see where it was anymore. I mean, obviously you can because it's a different color, but it's gonna really blend nice once we paint the whole thing. So if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up for me. Subscribe because we got a lot more videos on the way, and also check out the other videos already on the channel. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.